Lot to talk about on today's show and a new partner. And you guys know who that is. But before we do anything else, let me remind you we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. We're going to talk some Alabama with Shank. Roll Tide, everybody. Let's go. It's a pleasure to have Alphonse Taylor Shank as a new member of the team, man. Roll Tide, dude. Good to see you today.
Oh man, it's absolutely great to be here, man. I'm happy for y'all bringing me in. Man, I get to talk Bama ball and everything in between, and I'm excited to be here, man.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you. The fans they've called for you. You know, like when you're in studio, we've had some epic elephant in the room shows. Now we can get Coker to do our show, and
That's
Ryan
right.
Anderson to
That's
do our
right.
show. Yeah, so that'll be fun too. Well, let's just talk some Bama football right out of the chute. Your thoughts on the way that they did the 8A game this year or the practice? What do you like the direction that they're going with this thing?
All right. I mean, the atmosphere, everything that went into it, it was great. 8A is still 8A. Everybody's still gonna pour out and support, so that didn't change. But for someone who's never been to a Bama practice, I'm sure it was hard for them to keep up on what to look for, where to look, because there was a lot going on the field at one time. But me personally, I think they just need to bring the scrimmage exhibitions back. I get things have changed due to the portal, and you don't want to show too much, and you don't want to give too much away. But at the same time, it really doesn't compare to what it's been in the past.
Yeah, I mean, like that was the thing to me. It's supposed to be like a spring spectacle, you know, like you get to go out there and watch. When you were a young player, those were the days where you actually got to kind of get out on the field and do something.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, funny enough, so my first my first spring at Bama, I didn't even make it to 8A. So I was an early enrollee, so I got a little action in spring ball, and I'm getting my chance to go. And Tanae Patrick is lined up at linebacker over top of me, uncovered. I go to climb to him, and he met me faster than I met him, and that's how I got introduced to SEC ball during the spring.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to Tanae for that. Rolled my ankle, ended my spring.
Well,
But it was
but you
only
got
up
out
from
there.
there.
Yeah,
It
right.
was
But what's that?
no, I was just saying it was only up from there. It was having to learn the speed of the game in the SEC. Yeah, like that was a hard learned lesson for sure.
Yeah, and for fans too, it's an opportunity to go out there. You were signing autographs at the Bryant Museum this 8A. I don't say game, but this 8A day, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be kind of like a fan fest. But you're right. When I'm watching the practices, and I don't even know what's going on, man. There's like 8 things going on at one time. I just want to watch a game. Like
Right.
I want somebody to get a steak and somebody to get beanie weenies. What was your record in that game?
Oh, I think I was 3-2 in 8A games, so I've had my share of beanies and weenies, but it's all good. You win some, you lose some. That's just the type of competition you're going against. But I guess they don't even have to worry about that anymore, huh?
Yeah,
Like
right.
that tradition's died as well. That's tough.
Everybody just gets beanie weenies. Now,
That's
they
tough.
all get steaks these days.
I mean, they got the money to buy their own steaks these days. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you think about the NIL? Like, obviously, Nico, the quarterback at Tennessee, kind of holding out, skipped the last couple practices, got kicked off the team, signs with, I guess, UCLA for less money. And it's kind of, to me, it's been kind of like a lesson, like, what we see with where the direction of this NIL thing and the transfer portal's going.
right.
But at the same time, this was the first player that really tried to test it, at least that we know of.
That was a horrible test in my book. I like let's you hate to see it, man, because essentially that's what you didn't want it to turn into, you know. And so if guys will start are going to start doing the holdout deal, not showing up for practices, then we need to get some NFL type legislation going on. Let's call a spade and get some contracts in play, man, because there's too much money moving around for guys to act that way. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. And I mean, I think Tennessee handled it beautifully.
Me too.
Because at the end of the day, that's still the University of Tennessee. People are gonna line up to play there. As much as I hate them, fact is fact. That's still a powerhouse SEC team, heavy in tradition. Kids absolutely dream to go play there. And so, if you think you're gonna hold out on a university like that for a couple million, then good luck to you at UCLA.
Yeah, right, right. With less players, no chance to win a championship. Kind of I don't know, like you feel like they don't have the resources that Tennessee has. They don't have the fan
Oh,
interest that Tennessee has. Like that Tennessee team was in the college football playoff last year. And
right,
they've said that there was even thought that maybe he didn't want to play because he wasn't paid for the extra game.
right. And I mean, if you want to go back to the West Coast, then just say that. Just say you want to get back closer to home. Nobody's gonna be mad at you about that. Because what are the odds he ends up at UCLA back in California, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's what you want to do, fine. Yeah, but the whole holdout deal, asking for more money and making it a whole public spectacle, that's absolutely what you did not want NIL to be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's kind of the direction that things are going right now. What were your thoughts on Alabama, Coach Cap, the offensive line, the Juice Squad? I'm sure something you paid attention to, being a former offensive lineman and a guy that won multiple national championships at Alabama, and the offensive line being the most important piece. We know this; it's the most important piece of every team. Even though you guys don't get a lot of recognition, without
Right.
you, you don't win.
And I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. And everybody knows when Bama's been at their best, we've had a good offensive line to kick it off. I mean, there's numbers out there to prove that when we have a good run game going and we a run first team and we depend on that, we have good success doing that. And obviously 2015, our team was heavy run first, and we could get it in the passing game as well. But that standard starts in the trenches, I believe, especially in the SEC. You got to have the big guys up front to
Mhm.
get it moving. And from what I've seen at A Day, the small sample size that I got to see, I think we're gonna be fine, man. Even with losing a couple guys, I think we got some big guys in there that can move their
Mhm.
feet. I was watching them get bodies on guys, hold blocks. Running backs was finding lanes, so I'm feeling confident about it, especially with two quarterbacks we got back there battling out right now.
Yeah, let's talk quarterbacks. Basically, Coach Grubb said that if the season started today, that it would be Ty Simpson. That doesn't mean that Austin Mack's out of it. I thought Ty Simpson looked pretty crisp. He just kind of looked the part. He almost reminded me of our friend Jake Coker a little bit, kind of big,
Yeah,
standing tall in the
yeah,
pocket, throwing the football a little bit with some velocity. Did you get that same vibe?
absolutely, man. I think now watching Russell as a freshman, he can absolutely put the ball in spots that
He spins,
freshmen shouldn't
man.
be able to. I'll let that be known. But on the other hand, Todd looks like a seasoned vet. He looks like he'll understand how to control the game, control the tempo, be that system guy that you need. And I'm not even gonna call him a system guy because I think he has a great arm and he can put the ball in spots
Mhm.
himself as well. Man, that's the reason he's still here, right? And so he's a very talented quarterback, and I think they should give him the nod. He stuck it out this far, kind of like a Mac Jones situation. You wait around, wait till it's your chance,
Mhm.
and here we are. And I want to see him do well.
You being on the team, an offensive lineman, Jake Coker and I have talked a lot about his battle to be the starting quarterback at Alabama in 2015, and you guys were teammates. What is it like for an offensive lineman when you're watching quarterbacks battle for the starting job?
I mean, in my instance, I can't really say what it's like watching because I myself was battling to keep my own spot.
Yeah, right.
So I kind of had my head down, grinding in my own right. But at the same time, you can tell the difference every time there's a different quarterback back there. Guys have different cadences, different rhythms, and guys just run their huddles differently. And we enjoyed when Jake came in because he commanded the huddle.
Hmm.
Big guy, strong voice. When he spoke, you listened, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so that made a huge difference, and that type of stuff matters. But the overall deal, honestly, that was like my first camp as a starter, 2015, and I was just trying to do everything right and just trying to leave it all out there. So I could care less who they put back there at the time.
yeah. Right, right. But does
You,
the
you
team
know,
decide? I mean, then the next year you had Jalen Hurts, who's battling for a spot, and he wasn't the original starter that year. Remember? I mean, he came in and
right.
obviously demanded the job. But I always hear Saban when he used to say the locker room's going to decide. What does that mean?
Well, at the end of the day, he also said he's going to put the best 11 on the field every
Yeah,
time.
right. Yeah.
And and so if the original guy that's being put out there isn't performing, everybody watches film. We watch film. Coach watches film, and then we're at practice. We understand how things flow differently with depending on who's running the show back there at practice. And so there's only so much you're gonna take because you got to remember a lot goes into this, man. A lot of effort, a lot of
Hmm.
commitment from a lot of guys. And so it'll be tough to just, kind of sit back and watch all that go to waste because we don't have the right guy at the helm. And so I guess that's what he means when he say the locker room decides that.
Yeah, right.
Because at the end of the day, I don't care if it's a freshman, fifth year senior, whoever it may be, especially we're talking quarterback, put the best guy back there and let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, and you mentioned watching Keelan Russell just in that little bit of practice, the way the ball comes out of his hands. I mean, it's like he doesn't even really try, and it just looks different, man. Like it had so much spin and velocity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was like he
man.
was
It's,
throwing darts or something.
guy, he has it, man. God given talent.
Yeah.
Like, let's just call it what it is. And like you said, it looks effortless when the ball leaves his hand. And there was a couple times, and DeAndrew White was sitting with me at the 8A game. I was sitting with a couple of my former teammates, and I watched him nearly complete a throw on the sideline. I'm talking DB is in the receiver's pocket, and he put it over the receiver's outside shoulder towards the sideline where only he could get it. And I just said out loud, I was just like, there's absolutely no way a freshman should be putting the ball in that type of spot already.
Yeah.
And DeAndrew White turns around and looks at me and he's just like, right. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like God given talent. He has it, man.
So it's so
But
exciting.
it is. It's very exciting. But at the same time, Ty's been sitting back, perfecting his craft, putting in the
Hmm.
work as well. And like I said, I want to see Ty go out there and do well. But at the end of the day, I want to see the best guy on the field that give us the best chance to win every game.
Yeah, yeah. You said last year that you thought 8-4 would be a successful season, replacing Saban. Jake and I talked about it on our show, just how close you were to that. But just the way that the season played out, do you think that maybe they could, they to me they could have done a lot better than 8-4. They did. They could have done a lot better than they did at 9-4, whatever it was. But your thoughts, like on the first year of Kalen Deboer and the direction you think the program's going.
I mean, the year went about how I thought it was going to go.
That did.
And everybody wanted to chew my head off about that, man. And fact of the matter is, the SEC is a very tough conference, the best
Right.
conference in the country. The SEC was absolutely wild this year, any
Hmm.
given Saturday. And it happened. It happened to us. The SEC happened to us, and I expected that to happen. But at the end of the day, people have to realize that was his first year.
Hmm.
That's a completely new team to him. Even the guys he brought in, that's a new environment for them. It takes time to get your process in place. It's not going to happen overnight. And so I always said you just got to give them some grace. Like they didn't perform bad at all. Now, were there some questionable things going on as far as calls being made in game, OC, yeah, yeah, that's hands in air on that. But
Right,
At
right.
the, but at the end of the day, they put a decent season together and they gave us a chance.
Yeah. Yep, yep. And
You
then
know,
having Grubb back's going to be a huge difference too.
absolutely,
I like just
absolutely.
like the way he's kind of, you can tell he's the yin to the yang with Deboer. Like, Deboer's kind of the overly nice guy, and he just seems
Right.
like he might be not so warm and fuzzy when he needs to not be so warm and fuzzy. And I think it works.
I hope Grubb got better sideline drip than the boy though. Oh my god. Like I think he's a great coach, absolutely. But come on, man, come on, man, come on, man.
At least wear the hoodie t-shirt, right?
Like I didn't even see a suit at A Day, man. Like what are we doing, man?
Yeah, right, right,
Come
right,
on,
right.
Saban used to be Sunday's best dress every
Yeah,
A
he
Day.
did. He did. He looked the part, man. I used to think that about Gene Stallings. I had a Gene Stallings poster in my dorm room, and he's just like standing by the goalpost, not trying to be Bear Bryant, just being Gene Stallings.
Yeah,
And he just looked badass. Like just like this dude is just, you're just not gonna mess with this guy, like a Clint Eastwood type thing, and Saban kind of had that same vibe.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that throwback type of vibe, man. That retro vibe. I think if I, my coaching style, if I just had unlimited resources, I'd be like golf polo,
Mhm.
just last button buttoned up, the rest of them open, couple gold chains on,
Like
you
Coach
know,
Prime a little bit.
yeah, nice
I love
pair of
Coach Prime.
shades.
Yeah.
But, I gotta keep it real clean, man. That'll be me. Like,
first year of Coach Prime, Ryan Anderson was getting on me when they blew that big lead to Stanford. I didn't hear from him much last year. Because I loved Coach. I liked Dion when he was playing for the Cowboys. As a kid, I
oh
wanted
yeah,
to be Dion. So it is.
he's one of a kind,
Yeah,
man.
he is. He is. I liked what he had to say the other, like in a press conference the other day about it being now we don't want to wait world, and you work with kids, and basically that's how he's right. It's a now type society that we live in.
Instant gratification. Everybody wants it. I
Yeah.
mean, look at the NFL. They used to draft guys and develop them. Now they want guys to come in and be Super Bowl ready right away.
Yeah.
Look at the quarterback situation in the NFL. So absolutely, man. I mean, everybody wants instant gratification. Nobody wants to put that consistent work in over time to get there now. So it's sad to see, but that's the nature of the beast now.
Yep. Shank, it's fun. We'll get back together later this week and welcome to the Bama Tailgate Show. Glad to have you, man.
Heck
Glad,
yeah,
glad to
man.
team up. Can't wait to get you over here in studio again to do your show. Maybe we'll have Coker and Ryan in on your show.
I mean, hey, I'm available. I'm on spring break right now, so I'm pretty free this week. And so if y'all want to make something happen this week, let me know.
Hey, I like that idea. I like that idea. We'll get together with you. Plus, we're all going to the Mullet Toss Friday if you want to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
I might have to
invite
hop
right
in.
now. Invite
Okay,
right now.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. Come
Let's
on.
make that happen.
Yeah, those
Let me,
two are
let me.
they're doing a podcast. I don't want to say whose it is because I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
allowed to, but
yeah.
maybe you could probably get in on that too.
Oh man. All right, let me persuade my wife first, then
Yeah,
we'll make that happen.
yeah. We'll talk about it off air. But guys, thank you for being here. Don't forget newlifeart.com, promo code Bama Tailgate, 20% off. Your Daniel Moore prints. I'm covered in these in here. I'm finally back in my home studio when I'm in the Knoxville dungeon. I don't have those in the Bat Cave. I need to bring a couple with me because it really does change the ambiance of a house or a room. This is the wall of champions over here. But you guys take advantage of 20% off at newlifeart.com. That's 20% off. You got to use the code Bama Tailgate at checkout. And then finally, we're glad to be brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours and change from Birmingham. They've got the sports book, the Timeout Sports Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, the Azaleas, the Oaks. And with everyone kind of locked in on golf right now, it really is the Augusta you can play, and you don't need a membership. So take advantage of that. But table games and slots, everything you need is over at Pearl River Resort. All right, Shank, you and I will get back together again later this week, and you guys, we'll talk to you again tomorrow. But thanks for hanging, and Roll Tide.